What if you had the power to shift your reality, to jump from your current reality to a new one, to shift timelines and totally change the outcome of your future? Have you ever heard of multiple Earths? Have you ever heard of different versions of Earths? Are you confused on what this means? Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Hello if you are new. My name is Andrea Johnson. I'm a Reiki master and psychic development teacher and an inner work and manifestation coach. Welcome to the Good Vibe Tribe. Welcome to another episode of what I like to call Conscious Coffee Talks, where I like to help people expand their consciousness and improve their lives. So with that being said, let's dive into today's topic. So in today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about how to shift your timeline, how to create your ideal timeline for your highest good, and what it means to actually shift timelines, or in other words, shift realities. So to lay some foundation, guys, we need to discuss what a timeline is and how they are created. So a timeline is created from your thoughts, right? Thoughts are energy. Energy is the only thing to exist. Our universe is made up of energy. This is the mind of God. You can think of it as like another form of a dream, imagination. Life really is a dream, just kind of vibrating at a different frequency, so it feels more real than what an actual dream is. So essentially, a timeline is a thought. The way that I imagine it is a thought comes to you right from your soul. An image of your life is basically gifted to you. Maybe something that you want to embark on, an idea, creative inspiration, whatever it so may be. You have a thought that if you took action on this thought, it will create a timeline. So every thought that you have, whether you do take action on it or not, it exists in another reality, another timeline. It's just dependent upon if you want to take the action to create it and experience it, right? So like I said before, this all is the mind of God. Imagination is the mind of God. What you imagine does exist. It just exists in another realm of existence, another reality. It's vibrating at a different frequency. So if you wanted to bring that to the physical world, you would have to decide and make the decision on the thought to create that here. So that is where we are constantly shifting timelines, guys, dependent upon our thought. And if we actually take action to create that reality, then it just like kind of furthers us along the timeline when we make the decision that this is something we actually want to experience in the physical realm. But if we decide we don't want to, it doesn't necessarily mean that timeline doesn't exist out there somewhere. The fact that you thought of it means it does exist. So every time you have a new thought, you are creating a new reality. And you as the creator get to decide which one you want to shift to. And you constantly shift realities with every new thought. So the only difference is your level of vibration. So the higher your vibration with the higher the thought, I want to say, you go, say for example, you have a thought of your dream life or something you want to manifest, right? And that brings you closer to your soul's purpose, and therefore your reality will shift to that, meaning you're going on a timeline that's a higher frequency for you and your soul's purpose. Therefore, your entire world shifts. You even shift to a higher version of Earth. Yes, there are multiple versions of Earth that exist out there. So you would shift to a higher version of Earth that was similar to your frequency, and then your surroundings would soon match that if you held that vibration, right? So that is the key with this as well too. So if you hold your vibration, meaning if you keep that thought and taking action on that thought to build your confidence, to build your faith, to bring it into this existence, to be a vibrational match for it, then your reality will keep shifting to that. You will keep taking the path the breadcrumbs is what I like to call it, that the universe gives you, and your reality will begin to match that, meaning your surroundings, people who are no longer a vibrational match for you, will start to fade away. They will be on a different version of Earth. Now, this doesn't mean that they poof, they're gone. You're still in the same Earth, but they are existing in a lower frequency or a different frequency than you are, meaning you have expanded your consciousness, you are vibrating at a higher frequency, you are experiencing more love in your life, things of that nature. Now you can also shift the other way, meaning you can shift to more of a fearful Earth, more of the victim mindset, more of things not in your control. So you can think of things on the news, stuff going on in the world that is just very dark and doom and gloom. So if you put your focus there and you start feeding fear, feeding your thoughts into that, you start manifesting that in your reality, and that's all you can see. So you get kind of sucked into this little vortex, right? So that's why it's very, very important to take control of your mind and watch what you consume, because you start to become it, and that becomes your reality. So let's discuss some signs that indicate that you have shifted realities. And these are signs of which I have come to notice. So if you notice anything different or don't relate to any of these, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. The thought that you probably think that you've shifted indicates that you've probably shifted. So first one, you're reacting to situations differently, meaning things that used to trigger you are no longer triggering you. So it means that you've healed something emotionally, you've let go of energy that's no longer serving you, you have shifted your perspective, meaning you see life on a different level now. You've done the spiral, you've come back around and you see something for what it actually is, and a higher version of that, a perception shift per se. These are what I like to call epiphanies, maybe aha moments. Something just clicks and you're like, oh my gosh, it just all makes sense now, right? So it's like a little mini spiritual awakening almost. And when this happens, you can almost feel the shift internally, because energy has left your field, that it's no longer serving you. So what probably happened was that you shifted your perspective to see love in a situation, something that was triggering you. You've either forgiven yourself for something, you've let go of some trauma and saw it for what it actually was, and saw light in the situation and how it served you. You see how it's helped you on your path to becoming the highest version of yourself, and it was just part of it. So those are some things in which you can actually shift the energy of low vibration to love and high vibration, to then becoming more of the person or the soul that you are. It's basically a re-remembering of who you are, right? And that is going to shift your vibration to love, and therefore your reality will start to match that. And whatever your desire is, basically your soul's purpose, your mission, whatever, so maybe at the current time, you're going to actually start to see that manifest more in your reality. My thoughts on shifting Earths, it's more so of timelines to what you do want. It's more timelines of the highest version of you. That's the way I like to look at these things, is when you shift. But ultimately, it is a thought change within yourself, a perception shift. It's a desire shift. So it just depends upon if you hold that frequency, and that is what you manifest in your life. So another sign of this is literally you feel like your reality shifted. Like the world looks different, the world feels different, but you can't pinpoint exactly what is different, because logically nothing has changed but you. Your frequency has changed, so the way that you are feeling and seeing everything is of a different version of yourself. So even though you still may go to the same job, you still may have the same house, you feel different internally, and reality almost feels a little fake. It feels a little foreign, like things are in the process of changing. Your external world hasn't yet manifested or reflected the new version that is you, but you're on that path to do so. So you are becoming, or so to speak, remembering your purpose. You're shedding what no longer is you, and so your surroundings are beginning to match more of a higher frequency version of you. But literally, reality just feels different. I've just recently experienced this. So that's the best way that I can put it, as it feels not real. It doesn't mean necessarily disassociation. It just kind of means that you internally have a knowing that things are going to start looking different because they already feel different. So this could mean something of like your job per se. You feel like you're about to get a promotion, or your work might change a little bit more into alignment of what you truly want, or you're about to manifest something big and you're about to have a good experience. So those are some things that are indicating the feeling that you've shifted timelines. Like you're on the path, just your physical reality hasn't caught up to it yet. And this is for a reason, guys. There is, gosh, I wish I could remember where I had read this from, but it's literally, I think Neville talked about it, but it's literally a delay. There is a lag in the processing of our brains from actual reality and what we're manifesting. So there is a little bit of a delay for it to show up, and that's where you need the faith while you're building your frequency and following the breadcrumbs. So when you have that feeling, that inner knowing that your timeline has shifted to that of a higher one of what you want, you can feel it. Your just outside world hasn't manifested that yet. So you just need to hold the faith and just keep trusting yourself along the path. And then another thing that I've come to realize of shifting timelines is it really literally feels like somebody just like took your little screen of the world, the hologram, I don't know what you want to call it, and literally like shook it up. I don't know how else to describe it, as in sometimes I will literally just be standing there, and I don't know if you guys can relate. I'll just be standing there and then literally it feels like the room just moved and shifted real quick, or like you feel like you drop really quick. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like a physical, somebody took your consciousness and shook it up, and it's like you have no idea what the heck just happened. I don't know. It's like a little mini internal earthquake is the best way that I can describe it. But it's wild and crazy. I know somebody else out there has had to experience this. So let's go over some ways in which how you can consciously shift your timeline if you so desire. This can happen, guys, consciously or unconsciously, but I would rather be a conscious creator in my life. First way, we kind of talked about it before. You've let go of energy that is no longer serving you. So you can actually take the action to heal yourself. And I do this because you're already whole, perfect, and complete. But it's just working on your mindset. It's overcoming limiting beliefs. It is seeing love in situations that aren't serving you in the moment. It's letting go of trauma, lower vibrational frequencies. It's seeing higher versions of why things happen to you, letting go of grudges. So all of that healing, it is a perception shift, and that kind of brings me to my next point. But there's shifts in perception, and then changing your thought patterns, changing your neuroplasticity. So everything literally is created from the inside out. So the subconscious is the body. The body is the true holder of the energy that is you, because it's manifesting energy in physical form. That is kind of the point of the 3D. Your body is matter. Everything in this reality is a reality of matter, right? Energy manifested into physical form. So that is what your body essentially is, and that is basically what is drawing your reality or your timeline per se. It is going off the vibration really of your body. because that is the transmitter. That is you, pretty much. You are the thing powering this body. The thoughts and your conscious mind can be different than that in your physical body. So when you're doing the inner work, when you are actually getting the subconscious to let go of energy that is no longer serving you, stuff that you don't want, you're doing a lot of energy work. You can do EFT tapping. You can do things to actually shift the energy in your body besides just, your mind. It will shift your reality to that of a higher frequency. So it's a little bit on a different topic of healing, but essentially you have healed yourself to be more of a vibrational match of what you do want in your life. And you did it consciously through either energy work, inner work, hypnosis, things of that nature, meditation, stuff like that. So you can also change your mind. So you can choose to make a decision. So this could mean choosing to take action on a thought. You could have went down a certain path or a timeline and decided that wasn't for you, and then changed to something more in alignment with what you want in your life. So actually making the decision. You can do this with your thoughts as well too, and emotions. Not that easy if it's ingrained in you, and if it's something that's negative, or I say negative but low vibrational. You can choose to see something differently. You can choose to let energy go. You can choose to feel or think again a different, more high vibrational frequency. So you can use tools like prayer. Prayer actually gives you the choice. Pretty much when you pray, you're actually choosing to see something different. You're actually surrendering, which is a healing form of just turning over your, I don't want to say power, but surrendering is empowering you per se. Surrendering is freedom. It's freeing you of that energy of what you're holding on to that you don't want to be anymore. It is letting go, understanding that the universe has your back, essentially, that it wants what you want, that you're surrendering to a higher vibrational frequency, and understanding that you are not in the position to do it yourself. So you're basically allowing God to step in and take over for you. So then it releases the expectation of what you think your life should look like, what you think your timeline should look like, and what you think you want, and actually giving you what is best for you. So another way in which you can shift timelines is manifesting with the collective consciousness, meaning the human consciousness. And this can get dangerous as well too, because a lot of the times our human consciousness as a collective, meaning we create as a world, pretty much our human race creates reality based upon the thoughts that we all hold about our society, of things happening in the world. We feed that, right? So if you get sucked into the collective of, if there's something fearful going on or something big has happened into the world, and you keep feeding that energy, that then sucks you into that reality, and that's what you get more of. Don't want to say the C word, but the C word during the pandemic was a huge collective consciousness manifestation, right? There was almost everyone in the world literally contributed to that manifestation. So you can think of it as something like that. So you have to be very careful in which way that you put your attention, because it will then suck your consciousness, your energy, pull it into it. You can think of it like a little vortex of reality per se. So that is another way that we can shift timelines, and you can use it to your advantage too. It doesn't have to necessarily be the human collective. It can be smaller communities, more so in alignment with what you want. So joining groups of people with similar goals. So that's why it's so important to actually surround yourself with people who you want to either be like, or people who have similar goals as you do, communities. There is literal power in that, because you're going to feed off of each other, and you'll help each other build the reality in which you desire. So guys, that's what it means to shift timelines, to create timelines, alternate versions of Earth. Ultimately, there is just all right here, right now. Everything is happening in the present moment. The only thing that's really changing is your consciousness. It is you on the inside that's manifesting everything on the outside, guys. Our world is literally a hologram. Energy is just information. So your consciousness is literally just picking up on electromagnetic signals and creating matter from it. So it's taking in that information. You are taking in information from your 5 senses, and it's creating this reality. So when you shift the way that you feel, you then attract the reality that is more in alignment with you, and then you shift the timeline, right? So this is kind of law of attraction too. Like frequency attracts like frequency. So literally your reality is who you are. It's not what you want. It is who you are. You are always a vibrational match for the reality that you get. So the only person responsible for changing it is you. Doesn't matter if you think something happened to you, anything of that nature. If something is out of your control, you are in control of how you feel, how you think, and how you act, and that creates your reality. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, a thumbs up, a subscribe. It helps me build my good vibe tribe and attract more of you lovely souls into my reality so we can manifest the life of our dreams, right? Be better versions of ourselves, change the world, expand our consciousness. So let's do it together.